Hey guys, welcome to our review of Lupin number 39. As always, I'm your host, Frozen Stratos. Here with me today we have...
The Cinder Blaze.
And Makotoa.
Oh yeah, giving us that smoky eye, Alex. Yeah, we just got done watching this episode, and it was... fine.
No, it was infuriating.
It was not. It was not.
Okay, why?
Okay, before I go just on the negatives, I did enjoy the villain of the week. Like whole him shooting a fried shrimp is kind of amusing, and I kind of wish that they'd lean into some of the more amusing aspects of the show, because if they try to go for the actual plot and for the actual okay. If they try to make Zamigo as important as he's supposed to be in the series, it just doesn't fucking work.
Yeah.
For when he first shows up in his human form, you can barely recognize him because we've barely interacted with the character. We don't give a shit.
I disagree. I disagree because they spent a good majority of his screen time, a good percentage of his screen time setting up the sound he makes when he crunches ice and his look, So
he
looked familiar to me.
Yeah, he's just not. He hasn't been there enough to be significant.
To me, I think this episode, the good sort of outweighed the bad, just because I'm not invested in the plot at all anymore.
That's a sad place to be. I don't know.
Is it though? Because I can enjoy it a lot more than you guys.
I don't.
At the end of the day, I'm getting far more enjoyment than it seems that you two are getting.
When you lower your standards, a whole world of opportunity. No,
Alex,
no. Please, no. I would rather not, especially when it feels like we finally got to Zamigo and we finally got to an episode where he could have really shown off. And what did he do? He just got wrecked single-handedly by Red. And he's coming back another episode. It's if we actually defeat him, you already defeated him. You already shamed him.
And not just that. It's hey, let's not just shame you here. Let's undermine everything you did. Let's upend the entire pull of this series. And that was the quote deaths of Red, Blue, and Yellow's significant persons.
To be fair, we don't know where he transported them.
Right, but the idea that they are still alive upends any sort of stakes that were in this show, and it's
I mean, stakes, because stakes would be if something was on the line. If they're dead, then what's the point? I think having them alive actually makes something at risk, because they're still trying to...
No, because the thing was oh, hey, the Lupin collection can bring him back or whatever. That was their thing, but now but now collecting the Lupin collection, they don't even have to do that now. They just need to get through Zamigo to their people, and that's about it. And I mean, it doesn't really seem too compelling of a plot. That
when is it ever?
I feel like we've done something similar to this before. You see what's gonna happen.
Also, how do these, at the end of the episode, we had some characters come to these certain conclusions. Both Reds came to weird conclusions. I'm why did that come into your mind? He's oh, he was so intense when he was fighting that gangler this episode. Man, I wonder why. It's was he? Really? Was he more than...
I mean, behind the mask, it's he's just as annoyed as he usually is.
Right? I don't know. And then we also had Lupin Red, coming to some conclusion about Noel, apparently. Oh, well, if he didn't know Zamigo, then who killed his significant other or something like that?
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, it's he was sort of wholesale taking out a lot of people, so I feel the assumption there is whoever's in this like little circle has been connected to Zamigo in some way, but like I guess they're ruling that out, or at least telling the audience like flat out, hey, it's not him. And also we're going to nudge nudge wink wink juxtapose this question with Destra. Wonder who it could be.
Yeah, and honestly, when they did that, like, why would it be like significant if Destra did it? Because like when like they were about to do the cut, I'm like, well, it can only be 3 fucking characters.
Yeah.
Like all 3 of which are notorious for just bumming around the entire fucking scene.
Yeah.
And then we learn like, oh, maybe he did something fucked up. But like, why? Who cares?
The most compelling thing it could have been is like if they like wrapped it back around to the gym like little thing at the beginning, and they juxtaposed it with Jim, and he was like plotting with with the other guy. It was him all along.
Like you see fucking dark ass closet. He's like henchins just so he can go like this. Or even better, his face transforms into Destra. Just like,
well, we know Alex is drunk. Michael, did you have anything left to say? Something coherent, possibly.
I feel like
hey, we got a power up, Super Lupin Red.
I love how we almost forgot.
Well, no, like I liked it. That was one of the highlights of this episode for me. Just aesthetically, and the way this thing was portrayed was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed just the look of it.
Yeah, but that power is like bullshit. Like,
yeah,
being able to predict the future, and then but not really.
Only
how cool!
Only when it's convenient for the plot. That's
how cool did it look? How cool did it look, though?
I don't know. It's like
cool.
Airplane's ass to his fucking shoulders. Like, that's what I saw.
I wasn't as. It's not as big on me, especially with the like. They had to come over and like his little
nudges knobs.
Yeah, and that was their contribution for the episode.
Yeah, like it's not that was the trigger for the power.
No,
like,
because it's
sense.
A dial, not a trigger machine. Dial fighter. Come on.
Shut up. But it's just like he's like, you guys come and help me, and then all they do is just
all right, guys, let's do this.
Like, what kind of teamwork is that? Like, Red just fucking solo this episode.
Yeah, he did.
Like, all the Patrangers were just there. Like, they didn't have like any fucking incentive to actually fucking get involved. I don't know why.
And they also didn't. They straight up didn't. They showed up at the beginning and didn't know how to use their guns while they were in the air for some reason.
Because the writers don't know how to use 2 teams.
I don't know. I just think the director didn't really know how to block that right.
Also, like, the power of like making him just like float was just kind of not even thought out. Honestly, you're just like, oh, what power can he give him? I don't know. This will stall for a few minutes. Let's just give him that. I don't know. Like, this one just didn't feel like as well put together, you know?
I want to say that they're gonna that the direction they're gonna take it probably is that Noel's significant other is dead, and that when they finally do complete the collection, it's either going to be Noel's wish or the Lupinranger's wish, and they might actually like have to pick and choose a side or decide on who gets to bring their significant others to life. If they did really that,
cool though. Like, hear me out. Like, what if all the Lupin collection pieces together formed this huge door, and they walked through it, and they arrived at the center of the earth to a talking Triforce. Now, it's not quite the Triforce. It's a pyramid, but it's got Triforces on either side, and it is the culmination of all the Super Sentai powers.
But this time, Sakya shoots it. Because that is the most Sakya thing to do in this. I don't know.
Oh yeah, he's a sharpshooter, but like this entire episode, he was missing everything.
I was making a legitimate like point that could actually be something they could do, and
I don't
have
care.
some tension. You know? Oh, okay.
I don't care, and like also, it's just gotta find the people. What's the? I mean, and it's just gonna end all nice, then wrap up, and be fine. Like. When will we? I don't know that we'll ever end on like some sort of bittersweet something.
I think I'm way too angry at this episode to provide any more valuable input.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, hit that like button and subscribe if you want to hear more from us each week. And hey, don't forget to comment down below and tell us what you thought about this episode. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep it juicy.
Yes.
Later.
What happened? What was that? Was the?
It was this episode. It was just... I don't know. They just like they dropped like they were going on like a slight upswing, and then they just like dropped the ball. Like this was one of the